Hey, welcome back. I just completed creating the vector table entries. It starts all the way from reset handler and it ends at FPU underscore IRQ handler. As you can see that in our vector table, reset is the first one and last one is FPU global interrupt. This may not be same in some other microcontrollers. You have to refer your vector table. Some microcontroller may have more peripherals. That's why according to number of peripherals in the microcontroller, this number will change. This is a vector table and these are the prototypes. You can see that by default, all are getting redirected to default handler. That's the alias name. For the reserved system exceptions or interrupts, you can keep zeros here. We finished this one, creating a vector table. And the next job is write a startup code which initializes .data and .bss section. This we are going to do in the reset handler, because reset handler is a first function which gets executed whenever the processor undergoes reset. That's why we are going to write this code in the reset handler. After that, we can call main. Here, copy .data section to SRAM. After that, next thing is initialize the BSS section to 0 in SRAM. And after that, call main. Before that, you may have to call init function of standard library. This is required only if you are using standard library in your code. For example, if you have used printf, scanf, or any string related standard library functions, then you have to call init function of standard library. Otherwise, standard library functions will not work. But for this exercise, we will omit this because we will not be using any standard library code in this exercise. Later we'll see how to do that. But for this exercise, I'm not going to use any standard library code at all. That's why we can directly call main here, no problem. Now you have to do data copy, right, from flash to SRAM. How do you know the boundaries? You need to have these boundary information, isn't it? Boundary information and size information. Without knowing this boundary information, you cannot code those data copy things. That's why these boundary information have to be exported from linker script to your startup file. Then you can able to implement data copy things in the startup file. That's why in the next lecture, let's write the linker script and we are going to run some linker commands to link or merge all these different sections of the object file to create a final executable. That's it for this lecture, and let me know if you have any questions. And if you have any doubts, don't worry, while writing linker scripts, it will get cleared. I will see you in the next lecture.